2:52. 2:52. And it has been a day of constant feedback on my channel. Constant feedback on my channel. And see if this populates, because I have some potentially very unpopular ideas and opinions to state. So, you know, I try to say mostly nice things, and even if I have to say things that are, hi Gypsy Girl, I try to say normally nice things, and even if I have to say things that are not the nicest, I try to find a nice way to put it, because I'm not one of those people that like wants to crush people's spirits, and I think that logically every person has their own wisdom. Sadly, a lot of people never seek to find out where their wisdom truly lays, so they think it's everywhere. Hello, hello, waving back at you. So I had a lot of responses back on my meandering thoughts last night, and I had one that just kind of made me go, huh. And perhaps it's because I've lived a much different life. Perhaps it's because I've lived and dealt with the criminal component of society for so long. Perhaps it's because I know what people are capable of, and I don't like limit other people's behavior with my own parameters of behavior. But I had this person, and I'm not trying to drag them or anything, but they put a thought that I thought that was the most illogical and unthoughtful thought that could have been thought. It just kind of struck me that way. That they had lived on close to the Mexican border, 433, in so many years, and then on the Kentucky-Tennessee line, and that they had basically never seen issues with cartels because they didn't, you know, they don't use border crossings. So basically what she was saying was she doesn't understand my logic about the pattern of hello, hi everybody. So basically what she was saying was she did not understand the disbursement pattern that I was talking about from the Gulf up, and that it must be, you know, it must be something that was fallible, because to her knowledge of living on the border for 33 and a half years, she had never seen an issue at the border crossing. She had never seen cartels at the border crossing. And I thought, well, do you think that's something that the really bad instances that happen at the border, do you think that that's something that the police just blatantly blare across television? I mean, it's kind of obvious how much media stifles what we know at this point. But do you also know that just because I said it comes from the Gulf and up, it doesn't mean that they go through the border crossing and they check in and they declare and no. Honey child, they get into cargo investments. They get into militia groups that traverse areas that are not monitored. A lot of them actually just get, you know, they just buy their way into shipping, and they just ship their goods as you would ship an Amazon package. And so for a lot of people that don't understand that, it confuses me, because I wish I lived in a world of rainbows and butterflies and unicorn farts too, and I don't. And just because I said it comes from the South doesn't mean that I'm being racist, because do you know that the power that comes from the southern area, the power comes from all over the world. So just because I'm saying that it comes from, most of the shipments come from the southern area, that's just because it's the easiest way to sneak crap in. It doesn't mean that it's that culture doing it. It's somebody else with power and money forcing it through that area, because that's the least restrictive area. that's monitored, that's easier to use. It's the trail of least resistance. I'm amazed at how limited some people's brains are and some people's thought patterns are. And how they want to go to, oh, you're racist, oh, you're bigoted, oh, you're xenophobic, oh, you're, and I'm like, no, I just have common sense, and I'm not trapped in that little box that you're stuck in, because I understand that money, power, and wealth, it traverses the world, and it knows no boundaries. Certainly not racial, cultural, it knows no boundaries. And that the path of least resistance is trod by every man, no matter the color, creed. But the negative paths are trod by the negative men, and those are the ones we need to pay attention to. So we need to stop trying to make these little boxes, and we need to stop limiting people's thought processes by stepping in and going, or handing around that you've never seen it, you've lived there, and you would know. Really, would you? Really, would you? Because I lived in one of the worst meth corridors my entire life, and until I became an officer, did not have a clue. Did not have a clue. Really? Really? Okay. Some people, we all have jewels of thoughts. We all have these jewels of thoughts. And everybody's thoughts should be considered jewels. Some people just have real jewels, and some people have costume jewelry. And we need to remember that sometimes. And that's all I've got to say right now. I might be back later. I just thought that was weird. Who thinks that they actually go through border crossings? Who actually thinks that they use the highways that most people travel? They buy into shipping and buy into avenues to transport. And then when it's necessary to send physical bodies, they do it in places that are not being monitored, that are dangerous to cross. They don't walk through a turnstile like you do at the subway and go, hey, I'm here. Oh no. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm having one of those days where it's just like, probably shouldn't be on the internet. Or maybe I'm starting to realize the reason that the rumor mill is so astounding on the internet is because people that live sedentary, normal, safe, suburban lives really think they've seen the real world. You've seen the Sears Roebuck catalog version that most people would love to have. But you've not seen the real world. You might want to think on that for a little while.